welcome. Thank you for doing the review worksheet and giving me some pretty honest feedback about what you remember about Science 10. I completely realize that it has been a year since we had to think about this, and not everybody thinks, dreams, acts, sleeps in thinking about science. Right? Okay, let's go through the answers. The first row in question number 1 is K2S. This is an ionic compound. The second line is zinc iodide. It is also an ionic compound. The third line is sulfur dioxide, molecular compound. Next, we have N2O6, molecular compound. Copper 2 chloride's formula is CuCl2. It is an ionic compound. Next we have gold 3 iodide. The 3 is 3 slashes in Roman numerals between the word gold and iodide. It is an ionic compound. Sodium fluoride's formula is NaF. It is an ionic compound. Aluminum sulfide, ionic compound. Cl2 is chlorine, I-N-E ending. It is molecular. Question number 2 is balancing chemical equations. The first chemical equation is already balanced. You can leave it as it is, or you can put the numbers 1 in each of those blanks. When I read out an answer, I will say the word 1 so that I can go on to the next blank. B is 16, 3, and 8. C is 3, 1, 1, 3. D is 2, 7, 4, 6. 2, 7, 4, 6. What I wanted to do with this was get some pretty honest responses to what you do not remember about the Science 10 chemistry unit, because the things that we have done on this worksheet are essential skills for the chemistry unit in Physical Science 20. I think our starting place needs to be with compounds. Judging by what I've seen, I feel that we don't quite remember how to come up with compound formulas and name some of them. Naming is not going to be as much of a concern in Physical Science 20 as it was in Science 10. You still need to know how to do naming in case you need to talk about it. However, compound formulas are vital because in our first outcome, you have to actually learn how to predict what happens during a chemical equation. I don't want to make assumptions that what I'm seeing is the only thing you want to refresh about. You have a post-it note in front of you. I have lots more. Please write your questions that you have after doing this worksheet, things that you wish to review, things that you're not really feeling comfortable with, especially if it's something that I haven't already stated. If there's something in the back of your mind, how do I tell what an ionic compound is? What is an ion? What is a molecule? Sometimes we take for granted that people come in with that basic fundamental vocabulary, and really they've actually just been faking through and they don't have those fundamental words. So we're going to take a few minutes and you're going to write on those post-it notes. If you want more, come and get them. Tribe has spoken. Based on what I'm seeing written on the notes, I'm feeling a sense of lack of confidence. And holy smokes, this has been a really long time and I don't remember type response. Breathe. It's okay. We're going to go through this. I'm going to tweak my notes a little bit for the next coming days, but I'll show you what's coming up here. So I've already anticipated that you're going to have forgotten about some of this, but this gives me much more specific feedback about what I need to tweak about my lessons and the supports you'll need to be successful with this. Let's review the framework for science in high school. In order to be in Physical Science 20, you must have successfully completed Science 10. You cannot do Physical Science 20 as a prerequisite, or sorry, a co-requisite, or at the same time as Physical Science 20 because of that chemistry piece. Everything that we did in Science 10 is going to be used in Physical Science 20. Everything that we do in Physical Science 20 chemistry units is going to be used for Chemistry 30. The nice thing about doing the Physical Science 20 is it can actually be a gateway into 3 different courses. From here, you can choose to go on into Earth Science 30, Physics 30, and Chemistry 30 with this course. It used to be you would have to take a 20 level on each of one of those. So if you wanted to do Physics and Chem 30, you had to do Physics and Chem 20. So it's kind of nice that one course gets you to so many places. However, it's a little bit of a disadvantage too. And the disadvantage is that it is an intense course because we do some chemistry and then we switch mindsets and we start doing some physics. This is a highly mathematical course. So my recommendation is that you have completed Math 10 Foundations, not because it's a prerequisite into this course, but because it's a way of thinking. Being able to understand what numbers tell you and being able to manipulate equations to solve is a vital skill for Physical Science 20. You will require one of these grade 11 courses in order to graduate from high school. Meeting the minimum high school graduation requirements does not get you into a science-based program after school is complete. For example, I wanted to do a Bachelor of Science. That meant that I had to have at least 230 level sciences to apply to university and do that. I did that by doing the Physics 30 and the Chemistry 30. Biology 30 and Chemistry 30. I didn't do Physics 30. I chickened out of physics. Everything I know about physics I've learned or been taught by other colleagues who have taken mercy on me. I wish I would have. Math did not make sense to me when I was a teenager. And in some regards, it still doesn't make very much sense sometimes. It's something that I have to work really, really hard at. But I think if I would have done physics, it would have put that math into a context that maybe actually makes sense to me. I am actually teaching 2 courses of Physical Science 20 this semester. You're the face-to-face group, but I'm also teaching a class online. So it is possible that you might meet someone from Kenora or Esther Hazy, who is also my student. That's going to be really interesting. So people often ask me what's the difference between chemistry and physics. This is what I showed them. If it moves, it's bio. That's what we're studying in biology. If it stinks, that's chem. And if it doesn't work, that's physics. We will be doing a lot of lab work in Physical Science 20. Do you remember where the safety blanket is in case there's a fire? And okay, so right behind me in the red box, fire extinguishers. There's 3 in the lab. Where are they? So the 3rd one is actually in the back of this chemical prep room in case something happens when I'm mixing things together. If we have something that's really stinky, it goes where? In the fume hood. Do you remember how to control the vent for the classroom? There is an exhaust fan switch here. Can you hear it? So above Christian, above the fume hood, to see that vent up there, that's actually an exhaust that will pull the air out of the lab and vent it through its own personal chimney. So sometimes when we're lighting things on fire, we need to turn on the exhaust so that we get the smell out of the school and people don't panic and think we're burning the place down. I know. Emergency gas, shut off. Emergency gas, shut off. Yep, that's one. Where's the second? That's one. In order to turn it on in the classroom, there's a key switch here, so you can shut it off here. There's a 3rd one, and it's actually in the back chemical prep room. I don't know if you've noticed, but there is also individual valve shutoffs in your materials cupboards. So if you take a look at those, it might be in the next cupboard over sometimes. You'll see the yellow gas line, and there will be a valve, and you can change the valve that way. Okay. If you smell something that smells like rotten eggs, that is a problem. You need to let me know. Usually, I can pick it up really fast because it will give me a headache. But if you are walking around the school and you smell that gassy-like smell, say something, because there could be a problem with the gas lines somewhere else in the school. We rely on natural gas for our boilers, which heat the school. So gas isn't just here. I'm not here, and you do smell gas. Feel free to come in here and make sure everything's shut off. Okay. Make sure you let the office know. We might have to call Sask Energy in to come with their sniffer device. Have you ever seen that? It looks like a really big remote control. Or the first cell phone. Have you seen any of these? Okay. Huge brick, right? And it's got this pole that sticks out and it sniffs the room to see where the gas is coming from. Fire drill plan. Some of you were not here with me last semester to hear about the change when you are in the lab. If the fire bell goes, for me, we don't go back there. We go out to the recycle bin. And that's because I have mobility challenges with walking, and it is extremely hard for me to walk through the snow, to the extent where I might not be able to walk the next day. So instead, we go out the front door and we meet by the recycle bins, and any students with mobility challenges will meet me there. For example, Ian will now meet me there. If anybody is on crutches, we'll meet out there. It's really important for the winter. If you happen to be with another teacher and the fire bell rings, I will have blankets by the front door for Ian. Somebody grab them on the way out, because if he's down in the gym when that fire bell goes, they can't bring him to the other side of the school to get his jacket. And he does not have the ability to jump up and down to keep himself warm. Okay. Ultimately, the things that we do in the lab are a direct indication of how much I trust you. You've been doing labs that no other class has done since I first started teaching you in grade 7, because you behave safe in the lab, you clean up after yourselves, and when something goes wrong, you're fairly level-headed and you deal with it pretty well. Okay. This is the worst one. Can't tell the difference. How do you let people know what stuff is hot? For example, on the hot plates, we put a post-it note or a piece of tape that says this is hot. Or if you take a hot mat and you put the beaker on that, that's usually a visual indication. Don't touch this with your bare hands. There is going to be nothing that tells you that hot stuff is different than cold stuff. This is probably one of the most common sources of lab injuries. Always. Thermometers and pirettes. Pirettes are about $60 each. Thermometers are now about $15, $16 a piece. So always the expensive stuff breaks. If it is a round object, for example a pen, stabilize it between two things because round objects roll on a flat surface. Okay. But always the expensive stuff breaks first, right? Classroom practices, you have a dedicated section to Physical Science 20, which I know most of you don't look at. More of you might check out this, which is your Google Classroom page. No? I sent out invitations to all of you. If you check your email, your Gmail, so that's whatever your initials are, your numbers at gssdschools.ca, you'll have your invitation. Or you can always select a join code. It's usually a plus symbol. Join a class and type in these 7 numbers. You guys won't have invitations yet, but I'll make sure I send you one during RTI, okay? This is how I communicate with you digitally. People can also email me in return, or if you put something in the class comment, it goes to everybody, okay, which you may or may not want, depending on what your question is. I have already put on a chemistry supplements page for you. So this has drills, videos, etc. for all the key stuff in Science 10. Depending on how you learn, or if you want support, you can, for example, click on a video and then click on the YouTube link. It will, of course, probably do some kind of advertisement. And you can watch as much or as little as you want. This Google Doc is not something that I need you to do all of them or something. It's a support for you. That's okay. I was just kind of curious who else is on. That's fine. Excuse me. In the About section of the Physical Science 20, there's already a couple of things. First, if you happen to be at home and you don't have your tables, I have uploaded PDF copies of all the tables. So for example, if you can't be without a copy of the periodic table, there it is for you. Okay. You are welcome to use your Science 10 periodic tables. Some of them have already come back in. It's changed. We now have 4 elements that have names that did not have names last year. So for example, 113 last year on your table was an untritium. Now it has its name Nihonium. Number 115, Moscovium, has been named. Number 117 and number 118 has now been named. Those things did not have names when you were in Science 10. So realize that if you are choosing to use your Science 10 periodic table, things have changed a little bit and you are expected to use the most recent information. Okay. Also on the Physical Science 20 page is a YouTube link for our class playlist. I've already started compiling some stuff together, so I'll be throwing stuff up there. When I do the recordings, I will upload them to the playlist. So if a few of you are missing for curling tomorrow, you might want to go to the playlist and check it out. If you want, you can subscribe to my playlist and get automatic updates whenever I put something on. Just a warning, you get a lot of updates. So you might want to shut off that automatic feature which emails you every single time I put up a video. There's a section for if you want to email me, but if you go into your GSSD Schools mail, as soon as you start typing in Heidi, it's going to pop up with my GSSD Schools email. Are you interested in something called Remind? You've heard of that before. Do you want to explain to other people what Remind is? No, not really? Okay, Remind is basically text messaging without revealing personal information. So if you wanted to send me a message, but not from your cell phone number, you could go into an app and send me a message through there. I could respond to you in the same way. Is that something that you are interested in, or do you just want to stick with Google Classroom? Yeah, okay. Okay, that's... All right, so if you want to join Remind, I have created a class for you to join. You can access this through an internet browser like Chrome or Internet Explorer, or if you want, you can download it to your cell phone. There will be a couple of things that come up when you search for Remind. So it is the icon that's blue in the background with a white cloud, and it's free. The first result that I received wanted me to pay $10 or something like that. No, that's a totally different platform. This one's free. Cheap is good, right? All right. Handing things in. Most of our stuff is going to be hard copy submissions. However, if you are away and you want to text me a picture of your worksheet, for example, you can use Remind, or you can upload it to Google Classroom and hand it in that way. You will have folders in this blue box by the telephone here. Okay, if we have any worksheets that go out, I'll try as much as possible to digitize things but I'll also put a hard copy into your folder. Digitizing depends on the photocopy you're working. Sometimes it goes down. No name assignments. Those are posted to the front board. So if you get a printout or a progress report and it looks like you're missing things, it's unlikely because you never put your name on it and I don't know who it belongs to. All right, let's take a look at the course outline. What I want you to do is take a preview of this, particularly take a look at the evaluation section. The assessment policies are very, very similar to what we've done in other classes. I really do want to hear your feedback on the evaluation of this course. I have tried to target the end of a unit so that it's not falling on a significant time period. For example, I want to actually finish the chemistry unit a week before spring break so that we don't have to deal with this issue of somebody has to leave early or whatnot. We'll finish the unit, we'll get started on the heat unit a couple of days before. The heat unit should finish a week before our grad so that we're not writing any kind of unit exams during grad week. And the waves unit should finish a solid week before we start final exams. In the last few minutes of class, please take a look through the course outline. Tomorrow, we'll start off the class with questions, suggestions, revisions you want, and go from there. Okay?